Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Arthenex Plays Sunless Sea. We're about to set off on another voyage, and I've decided that since this is almost certainly going to be the last voyage for this ship captain anyway, I'm going to try and find... Polythreme, a good way to the east. So it's very likely that we'll die, and even if we get there, we probably won't have enough fuel to return. But if I do find it, at least I'll know where it is for the next time, or roughly where it is anyway. So let's, I think we've done all we can do here. Let's close this up and head out. And we're just going to sail east. We might swing around. We might just, I think we're just going to sail straight due east and see what we can find. Since we haven't really done that at all. We'll have to watch out for that shark who we ran into last time when we tried to sail due east. So if he's still there, we'll have to watch out for him. So maybe I'll swing around south of the lightship here and then head a little bit further south, because he was northeast of the lightship. And if he attacks us, then we are almost certainly going to sink. Not that we're pretty likely to sink no matter what, I think, but hopefully I'd like to get out, maybe find a couple more things before we do sink. So we'll steer away from that fog. On the horizon, a silky yellow light. So, Lick-a-Monkey Crag. Whatever that means. Alright, we're turning a little bit too far south here of our goal, so we're gonna... Oh, it's a jelly floor. Alright, I think we're probably going to die here. We're going to stick it out as best we can. Was hoping it would miss. Down to 27. 19. Alright, one more shot. Got it. Alright, that's going to give us another supplies. Wow. You wait for it will wait in the hold like a cup of dissolved moon. One day you will eat it, or perhaps it will eat you. Alright. Alright, let's swing back around, put ourselves back on course here. Continue, down to 19 hull. I think maybe it was a mistake to repair myself when I did. I could have probably squeezed in another journey before sinking. Oh, there's a dock. What is this? Pigmont Isle. Well... let's see what we got. Maybe they'll repair my ship for free. You never know. It could happen. 2 houses, both alike in dignity. A lonely desert beach. There is no habitation in sight, no market, very little in the way of a maintained dock. No shops, no shipyard. Alright. A stretch of sand thickens into damp black earth, from which sprout stunted palms? Not quite. Tall fungal growths with frond-like caps, as if someone sculpted the idea of a tree from a mushroom. These growths appear sparse near the beach, but clump closer together the further inland one goes, clustering tightly into a sort of forest around the base of the island's central hill. You can see, off in the distance, dots of fire flecking the horizon, and hear a clamor, shouts, and shot. If you look to the quay, you can make out the unusual shapes of 2 tiny figures. Well, we're obviously going to see what awaits us. War. As you step onto the quay, you hear clamor, shouts, and shot. You see off in the distance smoke rising from behind the hill and dots of fire flecking the horizon. 2 tiny figures stand a little further down the quay, unmoving, rather as if awaiting your approach. The figures are rodents. To your left is a Rattus Fabar, wearing goggles, a blacksmith apron, and an assortment of tools, and to your right is an unusually large guinea pig wearing a helmet and breastplate reminiscent of nothing so much as the high Middle Ages. The rat steps forward first and bows. Welcome. Oh, it's the rat. Welcome, Captain, to Ratstar Island. I am Edgar, the 2nd Chief Engineer of the 3rd Rat Brigade. I invite you to avail yourself of the food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice. The rat steps back at precisely the same moment. With what appears to be the ease of long habit, the guinea pig scuttles forward and makes a declamatory chirp. Welcome, Captain, to the Isle Caviar. I am Lady Augusta Deverneau Switch of the Blackwater Switches. Seneschal to our King Gracenaw, first of his name. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice. The two stand at attention, looking at you expectantly. What choice? The question must needs be tentative. They sound so rehearsed. Enough of this. Sea monsters, faceless predators, screaming oceans, yes, but you draw the line at talking to guinea pigs in full armor. Back on your ship you go. Well, obviously, I'm going to press forward. Nothing to lose, really. Speak to the chief engineer. His eyes have a wave-cold glint to them, and he wears his scars like jewels. Speak to the seneschal. How does an armored guinea pig manage to look regal? Engineer sounds like maybe he'll repair my ship, so let's go with the rats. A stirring speech. You ask the chief engineer to elaborate. He looks at you for a long, measured moment before speaking roughly. We came to this island to make a home for ourselves away from London. It's cats and snuffers. It's rat-skin suits. We came to live as citizens of our own republic. We came with our tools, our teeth, our clever hands, and we made a beautiful city by the light of the rat star that shone bright and blue on Mount Ararat. The chief engineer nods towards a distant hill. One day we braved the depths of the chicken woods, and from the top of Mount Ararat we plucked the rat star to be our light, our beacon, and our flag. But the pigs of Cavi saw the light, and they lusted for it. They sent armies to rule us and steal our star. We will not permit them to take what is ours. We will resist to our last breath. Will you join us in defeating them? Okay. So I can now let's speak to the seneschal and see what she has to say. An effortless eloquence. The seneschal clears her throat with a delicacy to rival the Duchess's own before speaking. Gracenaw the king, our lord and sovereign, full 7 months had sojourned on the seas, conquered this land, and won the southern main. Now no fortress against him shall remain, no city walls left for him to gain. Save the rats that squeak behind the mountain. Unlikely was the lamb of our deliverance. Assured shall be our glory in their fall, when our lady's eye restored to be our hall. When the seneschal then composes herself and adds, We saw truth and beauty by the light of our lady's eye on Mount Caveat, but the rats, with their guns and their chatter and their peasants' politics, stole it from us. We will subjugate them and take it back. They are a rabble, and we will rule them with steel-shot velvet of our paws. Will you join us? All right, I've heard enough talk. I'm ready to make my choice. I'm definitely gonna... Let's see. The chief engineer seems grubby but honest. Also, you've seen what rat-made weapons can do, and you'd rather not be on the receiving end of them. Or, perhaps you've never liked rats. Perhaps you've always been fond of rat-skin suits. Perhaps the seneschal's charms are just too much for you. At any rate, you're keen to find out more about their civilization. Or I could attempt to broker peace. Surely their commonalities are more numerous than their differences. Perhaps you can help them get along. No, I'm going to side with the rats. A rat in the making. You extend your hand to the chief engineer, who shakes it grimly. The seneschal hisses and chatters her teeth in disgust, but keeps her distance. You've made the right choice, says the chief engineer. Let me show you around. All right, I've casted my lot with the rats. A history lesson. The chief engineer leads you to the northern side of the island, skirting the chicken woods. You pass through a number of what can only be termed checkpoints, as fierce-eyed rats shoulder their derringers and salute the chief engineer. Soon you come upon a small colony, smaller than some of the infestations you've encountered in the London flats. Only perhaps 50 Rattus Faber altogether, working diligently to fortify their side of the island. The first thing you notice is a brilliant light beaming out from a stump of chicken wood about 6 feet high. It bathes the whole settlement in a clean blue glow. and is almost too bright to look at. By its light, you can see several raised mounds of earth, suggesting shallow tunnels. An efficient fishing operation is set up by the water. An albino rat mends nets while others stab sharpened sticks into the waves. Further inland is the barracks, where the sergeant barks drills at a small squadron of fighters. Your arrival draws attention, and several rats pause in their work to look at you curiously. "Welcome to Mariana," says the chief engineer, voice warm with pride. "It's not much to look at now, but it will be once we've rousted the cavies. Take a stroll around while I summon the War Council." With that, he vanishes into one of the mounds and leaves you to explore. Alright, so I can go to the barracks, the beach, the Rat Star, or wait for the War Council. Alright, well, let's start with the barracks. You approach the drill sergeant and go so far as to salute her, which earns you a grunt of satisfaction. The sergeant dismisses her troops and offers you a bit of chickenwood jerky to chew on. "There's more of us below ground," she explains, "but not enough. The cavies are bigger and there's more of them. We're better with weapons, but we haven't got the stuff to make them with. Most of us came here as stowaways and brought nothing but food, tools, and the fur on our backs. We can fish and we nibble at the chickenwoods, but we can't make guns out of trees. The cavies came with their own steamer and seem to have endless supplies. We raid them sometimes, but there's so few of us and we can never hold on to our territory gained for long. But that's of no consequence. All we want is to be left in peace to build our republic. And the Rat Star," she adds thoughtfully after a moment, "of course, we want that too." Okay. Alright, let's take a look at the beach. An albino rat smiles quietly up at you from his mending work, dainty and a little shy. "Chickenwood floats, especially when it's dried out and sealed, so we're able to paddle out a bit and cast our nets. We came up with all sorts of things, blind fish, crabs, sometimes a chunk of broken tentacle, but the fishing would never be as good without the Rat Star." He beams in kind. "I think it only draws good fish and keeps the scary ones at bay. I know the chief science officer doesn't believe in it, but I do. That light is our livelihood." Okay, let's check it out. A learned astronomer. "It's not a star, of course, not really, but just try explaining that to the others. The chief engineer doesn't want me working too hard to convince them, says this is better for morale, but just look at it, look." She offers you goggles. You manage to work them over just enough of one of your eyes to see the truth of what's in the bowl. It's a scintillac, but unlike any you've seen before, blue as a sapphire but more brilliant. Something about the clarity of its color is tremendously soothing. The chief science officer titters with pleasure as you hand her goggles back. "Those of us who've been to the cavy side of the island and lived to tell of it say that there's plenty of glow there, plenty of bright in the water all around, but nothing like this. We took this from the island's center, Mount Ararat, only it's not a mountain, of course, any more than this is a star. It's hollow, where there's sweet water inside and coral crawling up the walls of it, but nothing that glows, save this. It's ours now, and no one can take it from us." Alright, let's go to the War Council. Alright, your memoir's right in the making quality is now 2. The chief engineer emerges from underground with a motley assortment of other rats. He introduces them as weapon experts, strategists, and field commanders. So you're going to help us beat the cavies? Oh, he says, a hard edge to his voice. But how exactly? So I can offer assistance with strategy, engineer distraction. That gives me a 20% chance. Offer to task the cavies myself, a 20% chance of success. Or I can offer guns. Well, let's offer guns. I mean, I've got 2 supplies, I might as well. A fair trade. Your crew haul one of the deck guns to shore, and the chief engineer nods in gratitude. It's a clumsy bugger and no mistake, but we can break it down into parts easily enough, and there'll be plenty of scrap left over to make bullets. In exchange, the rats give you their precisions. The salted fish proves surprisingly restorative, and dried chickenwood proves to make tolerable fuel. As they pass by the glow of the Rat Star on their way back to the ship, each member of your crew seems to hold their head a little higher. Alright, so I lost 2 supplies. I can invite Rattus Faber on board with you. Welcome aboard. The chief engineer can't leave his colony, but he relays your request to his people. The albino rat you saw minding his mending net steps shyly forward. I'm good at fixing things, he says earnestly, and I'd like to see more of the world. You wait for him to gather up some effects and say goodbye to his family before accompanying him on board. Alright, I have a port report, Pigmote Isle. And I have a new mascot, a carpenter. This gives me hearts +1. Where can I... So I can make him my mascot instead of my comatose ferret. He's Veils +2. Instead of hearts +1. Sure. Why not? My comatose parrot doesn't seem to have done anything for me. Okay. The Republic ascended. The line of House of Cavi is ended. The line of the House of Cavi is ended. Rats hold the tent city of guinea pigs. You are welcome here. So I can refuel. I can undergo repairs. Yes. The rats of Mariana are skilled engineers. If your ship is scarred, perhaps they can heal those scars. This will repair up to 20 points of hull. Absolutely, I want to do that. Alright, I gained 20 hull. So that repaired my hull for free, after all. Isn't that what I said I wanted? Of course, it wasn't really for free. I had to trade 2 supplies for it, but still. Alright. Well, I can't refuel because I don't have something awaits you, but I might be able to refuel when if I ever make it back here. Okay. Let's head back out. That was certainly interesting. I discovered Labyrinth of Eels. Oh, that's down there. Okay. Alright, only 1 supply is left. Unless I manage to run into something I can eat out here. The only thing is I can't actually talk to the mouse. Some kind of land out there. Let's send out my bat. See if it spots anything. There are no islands within the Z-Bat's range. Oh, there's a buoy. Well, that might mean civilization of some kind or other. So where do they go? They're here. They're here. You are not alone. Oh, there's bats. Well, that might be more supplies. I took 1 hit of hull damage in exchange for 1 supplies. A worthy trade, considering I was about to run out of supplies. There's another buoy. Godfall is some distance to the east. Okay. Am I going to get there before my crew starts starving to death? there's a place to land. The voices that will not be drowned. This is the Sea of Voices. We are close to Polythrene. Oh, this is what I was looking for. Maybe. Well, it's around here somewhere anyway. Sometimes, just occasionally, bits of the roof fall off. Be glad you weren't here when this one did. Fair enough. The brawling bearded men who live here call themselves monks. They'll pay for something to moisten them. Buy 5 mushroom wine. Okay, of blood. Hunting trophy. Of shouting. Let them tell you about past and present events in the monastery. Explore the shattered citadel. I can't do because I don't have 5 foxfire candles. Monastery before never fell from the roof. It was a citadel. The fall shattered it and killed all the occupants, probably. Why don't you take a look? The more foxfire candles you have, the better. Bad things will happen if you run out. Well, I can't do that, but I will take a port report. Alright, so Polythrene is around here somewhere. But where? There's a buoy up there. Oh, here it is. Alright, I'm about to... Now it's to feed. My crew needs provisions. Yes, I know it does. Well, looks like I finally... Uh-oh. That's not good. Alright, I'm gonna race for port. Alright. Polythrene. Here is screaming. Taciturn clay men. Clay men. Evasive close colonies. Walking like humans. Cobbles that groan underfoot. On the hills above, a palace villa of marble, but even that writhes like buried bones in an earthquake. Gather intelligence. What news from Polythrene? The king with 100 hearts rules from his palace above the city. He is never seen. He makes no treaties with other lands, but there's unrest in the air. The claymen you speak to are obedient and humble, but they speak nervously of those who are not. The maimed, the rebellious, the unfinished. Alright. It's an expensive place to remove terror. Yeah, I believe it. A contact colony. Your contact awakes at the whistling eye, a mass bundle of grimy satin. The light here is poor, but he seems to have more gloves than it should. Okay. A muttered plea. Please, whizzes a voice from within the mounds of clothing. Take it. I need to pay my debt. It seems that the clothes, mostly gloves you see, are more wearing than being worn. The pale and sweating fellow within is a prisoner of his wardrobe. Take the report, though your fingers may shrink from the touch of the living cloth that binds him. Return it to London, and perhaps you'll help him pay the debt he owes. Alright, I gained a tale of terror. I have a strategic information. Okay. Carry claymen to... Are they passengers or cargo? They're certainly the easiest passengers imaginable, unless, just unless, one turns out to be an unfinished man. You should have 6 units of cargo available. And I can't do that because I don't have one watchful curio. No, he wants you. Not now. He just is for you to hand through the watchful curio. Alright, well. Temple of Labors. Bring material. I can sell stuff here. Sapphires, Judgment's eggs, and Stygian ivory. But I can't buy anything. And I especially can't buy supplies or fuel. Well... It's definitely not looking good. Doesn't look appetizing, even safe, but perhaps it's worth the risk. Okay, well, I'll probably try that. ZZ soup. I need menaces, unaccountably peckish. This isn't the place to sell where I can get rid of my, apparently where they needed my, unstamped creative brilliant souls either. Well, I think my best bet might be to destroy that pirate and maybe he'll give me some supplies. At least I did find this place. But it doesn't seem like there's anything else for me to do here. Alright. My odds of destroying this pirate are very poor. But my odds of making it back to London in one piece with no supplies are even worse. So, here we go. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Gotta get far enough away. I can't shoot from here. I need to find the... this is... Oh, not sunk yet. Starvation walks the ship. So I can consign their bodies to the Z. Or I can feast on their remains. I'm not going to turn cannibal. I've lost 20 hunger. I've lost 1 crew. Okay. I don't think they can shoot me when I can't shoot them. Shipwrecked. Your ship founders. Their screams, the feather dark. The unforgettable sound of a ship's spine breaking. Slip beneath the waves. Perhaps he'll be remembered in a song. Alright, well, so passes my first captain. Choose a legacy to preserve something for your next captain. Your first captain has died. Don't worry, these things happen. Explore boldly with your next captain. Your memoirs, quality of lodgings, quality is gone. Alright. Okay, so in memoriam, Arthenex died January 2nd. Legacy qualities unlocked. I didn't unlock any of those. You were Arthenex's... Oh, so... Warrant of Redemption. So my next character will retain 50% of their iron value and 1 weapon. Interesting. Is this... I can't choose any of the other ones. So I inherit this. And that's it. Alright. Accept legacy. So I'm human unlocked. Rival. Alright, and now I'm back to the beginning again. Alright, well, let's quickly go through and make another captain, and then I will end the episode. So, so we didn't actually wind up making very many mirrors tests in that playthrough. So let's choose a skill that was a little bit more common. There was that one quest that we unlocked because we were a natural or philosopher, but that's it. So let's try Street Urchin instead. I'll be a little sneaky this time. So I have a Longshanks Gunner. Longshanks Gunner. So that's Urchin gain. But where did she learn to fire a cannon? Low cunning on the high seas. Your friend, another Longchase, knows a little of gunnery. Only a little, but she can help. Alright. So that will allow me to improve my iron skill. Probably. Where's iron? Yeah, so she improves my iron skill. Alright. I gain 25 veils. I gain 10 echo. Okay. I'm still going to go for this. And I'm still going to choose captain. And let's see. So this time I'm a street urchin. He looks pretty street urchin-y. He's just a little bit too Indiana Jonesy. I like him. He kind of looks like a street urchin. Alright, so this time maybe I'll use my forum name. So this character can be Akron. Alright. Accept. And this is where I will end this episode. So join me again next time as we continue our adventures with our new captain. If you enjoyed this episode and my heroic demise fighting pirates instead of the ignominious end of starvation, please consider liking the video in either case, or subscribing to the channel. In either case, I hope that you all have a terrific day.